Hey guys, for the Thoughtful Gardener, I thought I'd invite you in for a cup of tea as well as an update on PHS's Philadelphia 2024 Flower Show. Come on in. It's the Thoughtful Gardener, and thank you so much for being here. If you're new to the channel, we love to have comments on our videos. That helps other thoughtful gardeners find our videos. So if you have a comment for the video, we'd love for you to put it below. So I got an opportunity as part of the press to attend the opening day of the PHS Philadelphia Flower Show, and I will say that I am very impressed this year with their evolution. First of all, when you are walking in, you are absolutely mesmerized by clouds and clouds of flowers surrounded by tulips. This was an incredibly beautiful way to make it almost feel like you were floating in that exhibit. And I loved that they had water and sound, as they always do, but it was just very calming, which I love. The highlight of the show is definitely a stand I want you to check out. Kelly Norris is a native plant designer out of Chicago, and I absolutely love his designs. They're very eclectic. They use a lot of native plant material, but not all. And I love that this one in particular was an urban street scene. So essentially, they're taking over what you would consider maybe an empty or abandoned lot, which many of our cities have. And have been shown that if you can put gardens in those spaces, that actually crime will decrease. What an incredible finding of how gardens impact behavior. But what he has done is brought not only dead plant material, which is really interesting. He said he spent more money on flight for his dead plant material to be able to put that in the garden. But they used things that you would normally see in a city. So they used pieces of concrete, they used things like concrete block. And I think what that says to me is that if you have it, use it. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is not a display that is looking for perfection. It's looking for relatability. And they record since the early 1800s every single flower that has been shown in the show. And so I thought it was really cool that 30 plants that he used in this display were new to the show. What that says to me is that native plants are here to stay. Not only is this a very motivational look, but in addition, it is a very achievable look. And shout out to the growers that helped him accomplish this. There are things in here like weeds, like mullein. Mullein was brought over from Europe, and it appears just sporadically in my garden. The plant itself has some medicinal benefits. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but I thought it was really cool that he was showing you that even weeds can be really beautiful, and these mulleins were on full display. The other thing that I like that he incorporated is something I always talk about as a pollinator gardener, which is using herbs as bridges. And he used a lot of yarrow in this display. Yarrow is loved by our good bugs, lacewings and ladybugs that eat your bad guys. So if you are interested in having more good guys to reduce the pest pressure in your garden, yarrow is a great way to get that done. And you could see it full in bloom right on the edge of this property. The other thing that I will say is repeat. He repeated a lot of times the black-eyed Susans that you saw throughout the display. The sunny yellow color really made a statement, but it also was really exciting to see these flowers in bloom. This is one of my criticisms of this show, is a lot of times it is a flower show, meaning that it is not flowers that are from here. It's not flowers that are grown here. It is flowers that have been trucked from God only knows where and shown. And so a lot of times it's a lot of carnations and mums and, you know, things that are in my mind are kind of boring as a gardener. I like to see things that are different. And this is one of the things that I really appreciate is he had to work very hard with his growers to obviously get these things to bloom slightly out of season so that you could see what it would look like. And this has been one of my issues with this show going back in past years. Now, what I will say is that there was an incredible display by a florist regarding the slow flower movement. Now, if you're not familiar with the slow flower movement, it's something that I'm really excited about. It's basically highlighting our American growers such that they can contribute to flowers grown right here in our country by American farmers. You might pay a little bit more, but it's worth it. If you think about the carbon footprint, something you're concerned about, we shouldn't be buying roses from Colombia, for example. We should be buying our flowers right here. This is something I think that everyone can potentially get behind, which is supporting our florists who are buying from our local flower farmers. And so this really fun display was like Thelma and Louise trying to encourage people to go and drive to see our gardens across America. So you could actually light up the map and see all of the gardens you could potentially do on a road trip with your best friend and of course the dog. So this was really inspirational to me. I love to see gardens. It's something my husband and I do every chance we get. We actually have the American Horticultural Society Pass. It's called Reciprocal Gardens, and what it allows is for you to attend gardens that are typically 90 miles from your house. Now, this is a really fantastic deal. It typically, for both of us, by just going to our local Hershey Gardens, which is actually included in this pass, if we go twice, we've paid for this pass. And in the winter, their butterfly house is the coolest place around to hang out because it's warm. I really love that. And their rose garden is absolutely not to be missed. But the reason I'm telling you about this pass is it would be a perfect gift for anybody who has an upcoming birthday or maybe Mother's Day, for you and your mom or you and your best friend to maybe take a little road trip together and go see some of these gardens that are on this map. Now you'll see that there are all kinds of little photographs of those different gardens. And so one of those was Longwood. Now, unfortunately, Longwood, you're not in the AHS Reciprocal Garden. I wish you were actually. But there are lots of gardens that I have gotten to see all over the country. I always carry this pass with me, so if I happen to be in a city that has one of these gardens, I definitely want to go check it out. But I want to say to you, if you get a chance, I encourage you to go over to the show. I think that there are lots of things you could definitely learn from in terms of not only the classes that are being taught, and by the way, the speaker stage is just outside, so you'll definitely want to check the schedule so you can time that as you are going around. We'll also say one of the things that I would appreciate is if they would put in some seating. I was hearing this complaint from some of the older gardeners that were there. There's just really no place to sit down inside. This is really a problem at this show, and one of the things that I will give Seattle a thumbs up on. So you need to have comfortable shoes, and look, don't be afraid to go take a break. One of the vendors that was there that I absolutely love are the teas. There is a tea company that has the honey granules already in the tea bag. I'm drinking that actually right now. I'll link that so you can certainly check them out. But the vendor area was quite good this year. I also really loved some of the plants that are kind of the best in show that were on display. It was really super exciting. So I think if you are someone who grows a certain type of plant, maybe think about entering that plant next year into the show. There was a story that was shared with us at the press of a child who had actually entered a plant when he was 11 years old, and he won Best in Show for his plant. And then he has continued to enter, and now he's in the trade, which is really a cool and heartwarming story to get people excited about participating in the show. So I hope you'll make it out this year to Philadelphia. It was well worth the trip. I also went over to across the street, which is directly across the street, is the Broad Street Market. They have show-related themes going on right now. My favorite coffee place had a grower's coffee, which of course I had to have. So it's something that I always love to do, is to go over and check out everything from fresh produce, fresh flowers, as well as fresh coffee while you're at the show. So I hope you make it. If you like this video, please give us a like, maybe a comment below. That helps the algorithm find other videos that would be appropriate for gardeners like you. And if you didn't like it, tell us what we could do differently, and maybe we'll make a video just for you related to gardening in the future. Garden thoughtfully and take care.